What's up, everybody? This is the Sport Aces podcast. I'm Chris Ortega here. Tom Butcher is not on this episode today, unfortunately. Neither is our other co-host, Anthony Conti. But we have two special guests here today. Man, reoccurring guests, of course, Giselle Strong here. Even though she's going through some tough times right now, mentally and emotionally, regarding the Houston Texans. But we're gonna save that for later in the episode, though. And then we have a special guest, guy here. He has his own podcast, Liquor Talk Podcast. If you ain't subscribing or you following it, you see the at name in the title or in this video. Go ahead, follow it, and subscribe to the YouTube page as well. And the host of it, we got Victor here, man.
Hey, what's going on, Giselle? I feel your pain. I'm a Bucks fan, so I feel your pain.
You get it. You get it. I'm like, not only are we out of the playoffs, Kay, I mean, I'd be delusional. I'd be silly if I was not expecting that. There was a high probability of that occurring. But what makes it even worse is, they're out here fining my player Joe Mixon $25,000 for a tweet that he didn't say from a retired Cincinnati Bengals guy. And then Joe Mixon brings it up and says, "Hey, I didn't tweet that. That was not me." And then the NFL fines him another $25,000. So $50,000 worth of fines down the
Wow.
hole.
Look,
Ridiculous.
look, man. Something
Wow,
about
that's
that number
crazy.
15 in the Kansas City Chiefs uniform, man. He's like he's the
Uh-uh.
new Tom Brady. Anything you say or do against him, they
Yes.
they don't fine. So you gotta
And
tell you
also
guys to be careful.
they complain because he getting all the damn calls. I'm like, I even Troy Aikman was about to freak out on that damn
Man, we're gonna
podcast.
we're gonna get more into that. We're gonna get more into that later in the episode, man. That's gonna be crazy, man. But everybody's seeing, the big news is coming out of Detroit. Now you're seeing Ben Johnson going to the Bears. I think Giselle predicted it the episode when you was on, which was crazy. Now Aaron Glenn is at the New York Jets. Um, man, it's crazy. We're gonna start with Ben Johnson. First of all, I don't think Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur are even known each other, but the way he was dissing him, crazy work. Then what was nasty work was Caleb talking about he was in the Matrix last season.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this guy's style was, but if he was in the Matrix, you know, that tells me a lot about himself, man. But yeah, man. But how y'all feel about this Ben Johnson going to the Bears?
I
Ladies first.
mean, that makes him the second youngest head coach in the league now, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the youngest head coach is over in Seattle for the Seahawks. So that makes him the second youngest, which is kind of cool. That's cool in itself. Obviously, a bad day in Detroit for the Lions franchise. Not only are they out of the playoffs, but they lost both their DC and their OC. So that's an unfortunate turn of events. It's like kicking someone when they're down, not just once, but twice. So I don't know what's to come of the Lions franchise for this upcoming season. Who knows? But I do think it's really exciting for Ben Johnson going over to the Bears because, I mean, when it comes to like young, fresh meat that's really excited to be in a position like so, I think it'll be really great for that franchise. And obviously, there's a lot of growth that needs to be done over there. Um, I think the best is yet to come.
To pick back on what you said, it can for the Bears fans, you can only go up from here. So I think y'all hit a home run. They've been saying, oh, he was the top candidate, so they really nailed it. Now he just got to come together with Ryan Poles and really go ahead and build his team out and really start to put the pieces around Caleb Williams because Caleb Williams, he looks like he is your franchise quarterback. Now you
Right.
got to start building around him and also, he got to get somebody to run that defense as well because we know he's a good offensive guy. You need to get somebody to run that defense as well. And as for Detroit, Mr. Campbell, you got to go to work again, man, because you got to find two good coordinators Now you got to find a good offense coordinator and a good defense coordinator, and also we need to watch for the regression because, man, I don't know, man. That loss to the Commanders, that one shocked me. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but their saving grace is half their damn team was hurt. So if anything matters, because I think if Detroit was at full strength and not have the whole roster on injured reserve, ain't no way Detroit wins that game.
Right. I mean, coming off of comparison this season to last season, I mean the Lions put up a really big fight against the Niners, but the Niners obviously prevailed. I just feel that that wasn't the best that the Lions could have done, and I think that hurt more for that franchise and for fans alike that they saw their team not as well as they would have expected.
Yeah,
Oh,
it definitely hurt based on what Detroit has been through and all those years of misery. Yeah, I would say that definitely hurts because you go 30 something seasons without making it to the NFC Championship game, then you break the drought, and then for the most of the year, you have a dominant season, meaning it's looking like it's going to be y'all in Kansas City in the
Hmm.
Super Bowl. But then half your team just gets hurt along the way, and then Washington surprises y'all.
Yep.
I mean, I'm feeling a little bad for Detroit fans, but I do know y'all need to strike while the iron's hot, and that's why Dan Campbell
Sure.
and front office, y'all got to nail these hires to replace your offense coordinator and the defense coordinator.
I
Yeah.
was
And I will say it's exciting because it's just like a passing of a baton from the Lions to the Commanders franchise because the Commanders have been abysmal. They've been nothing for decades. So even
indeed.
though it sucks to see the Lions out this early, at least you have something to be positive about. I mean, you have probably one of the best rookie quarterback performances from Jaden Daniels by far. And then you have the Commanders franchise finally on a good high because the last couple seasons, the Commanders fell off. They had all of that scandal with their front office, and the owner of it had to sell with all the sexual harassment allegations and everything in between. So this is really good footing for the Commanders, and you can only go up from here.
Indeed, indeed. And for the Bears, in my opinion, um, having almost $70 million in free salary cap, going to the off season, it's only up from here. Because now Ben Johnson can, build this roster. I think his first thing of motion of action is going to be let's build this offensive line because he knows you need a better offensive line. That's
Hmm.
how it all starts. The guys in the trenches. I know people want to say, "Oh, about the skill guys." Skill guys can come later. The offensive line matters. Offensive
Yeah,
line, defensive line matters.
yeah.
Skill guys, I'm gonna be honest. I know I seen TikTok talking about Ben Johnson might revive DJ Moore career now. And I'm gonna be honest, this might be a like 1,300, 1,400 receiving yards season for DJ Moore and Ben Johnson offense. Because Amon-Ra St. Brown, Flora Sherrill, Jameson Williams, Flora Sherrill, even the guys that was the slots, like Tim Reynolds came in, Khalif Raymond, guys like that. So that's gonna be the biggest thing. I think, he probably gonna want to run the ball. I think he want to look at getting a two running backs. It would be great if he get guys like a guy similar to Montgomery and Gibbs, but only good time could tell.
Right.
But I know if things looking up for them. I know I had people comment and predict their record. Somebody predicted they go 14-3 his first season. Very high expectations. But a lot of people were saying like 8-9, 9-8. Just
Yeah.
a slow push up to maybe fight into a playoff contention.
Hmm.
But I can see it going up from here. Now, the other counterpart was Aaron Glenn, and losing that voice on the defensive side for Detroit is going to be a huge loss for Dan Campbell. Like offensively, it was a hit, but like you still have a lot of weapons.
Hmm.
Defensively, that's going to take a huge hit because guys going to be coming back from injury, but you don't have that presence of an Aaron Glenn now where he's going to the New York Jets. The
Hmm.
New York Jets definitely needed him and needed his
Yeah.
style to rearrange everything that's been a shit show for the past 2 to 3 years being there. Like it didn't work with Zach fucking Wilson. And then I ain't gonna lie, Zach Wilson looked pretty fucking good when Aaron Rodgers went down. So like the fuck they got going on there. Aaron Rodgers come in. First half of the season, he looked like a shell of himself. Second half of the season, he looked better, but it's like, where was this at the whole season? So it's just sad. But Aaron Glenn is got his hands full. You got a team where we don't know what direction they're gonna go. They're gonna keep Aaron Rodgers. You're gonna keep Devontae Adams. I don't know which direction they're gonna go going forward.
Right. But I think it's a really cool full circle moment, and those are like one of my favorite things anytime talking about sports because Aaron Glenn did play 8 seasons with the Jets as a cornerback. In case, a lot of people may not know that or they may have forgotten
Under
because
the Bill
I wasn't watching
Parcells.
sports at that age. I wasn't even here. So it's just one of those things. It's a really cool fun fact, and I think it'll be exciting because it's home for him. It's something that he's comfortable with, and I think it'll mean a lot to him if he's able to really build that franchise because there was a lot of hopes for the Jets starting last season. And then, Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, tears his Achilles on the first play, the first snap. And
First 3 plays.
yeah, it's just, I didn't mean to sound like a pessimist because I'm a very optimistic individual, but I just did not think that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, there was going to be much going on from there. And personally, I think Garrett Wilson should leave that franchise and not waste his talent over at a team that's going to be rebuilding for a long time.
Oh man, only if
Yeah.
Tom was here, Tom would lose his shit. Because I told Tom this that y'all might have to let go. Y'all have to go. Y'all gonna have to make a tough decision soon between Sauce or Garrett Wilson for this payday, and
Ooh.
it's gonna be a tough decision because, like, I think Rob C was figuring out Sauce game already, and Sauce didn't look too good this year. And Garrett Wilson, he was 1,000-yard receiver with Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
So like,
the MILF lover.
so like, I ain't worried about Garrett Wilson going somewhere else and being the star, but they're gonna make that decision, man. But go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, they excuse me, they're definitely gonna have to make that decision. And also, the owner, Mr. Johnson, stay behind in the front office. Just cut the checks. We don't need to see. Keep your sons out there. Just cut the checks and get the right GM and let them cook and and also Mr. Glenn. I'm happy for him. That is full circle moment because I remember seeing him playing for the Jets as well. That is definitely a full circle moment. But he's gonna have to nail the right offense coordinator because a lot of defensive head coaches. A lot of times their biggest failure is not getting somebody they neglect the offense and
Yep.
and then the defense is A1, but they neglect the offense. And, I mean, it worked for Rex Ryan back in the day, but you need to nail that. But if you want to last a long time, you need to nail this offense coordinator.
It's true.
Speaking of Rex Ryan and offensive coordinators, ha.
If Rex Ryan would have found the right offense coordinator back in the day, maybe the Jets could have did something because he got them to the NFC title game.
Go ahead, Giselle, because I know this is going. It was the perfect transition to my fucking Cowboys. But go ahead, Giselle. Go ahead and get the
I was
last
just
one.
gonna say, I'm like, man, I don't know who's in worse shambles, Cowboys or Jets front office. I was gonna ask you that, Chris. But that aside, I mean, with Rex Ryan, what really notable thing has he done, aside from just run his mouth this past season talking about my
I
touch?
mean, he was a good coordinator back in the day, but now he just running his mouth. So
I'm like, whatever.
It's all right. So to answer your question, I don't know what we doing. Like as an organization, this is a perfect example. And I want anybody who watching this, if you need a perfect example of not having a plan in life or not having any plan on like who to hire next, the Cowboys should be the perfect fucking example.
you
If
think
you knew you
Cowboys? I hate to cut you. I would have said the Jaguars, but continue.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
would say
they up
Jaguars.
there. They
Because
up there.
the one thing that differentiates the Cowboys from the Jaguars, along with pretty much every single, team in this league, is that the Cowboys, I mean, they are such a historical franchise. I mean, they have so much rich history,
Yeah.
so many cool things going on for them, and so much money at that I mean, anyone would choose the Cowboys over the Jags any day of the week. And anyone who says otherwise, like, you're just be quiet, sit down, go
Yeah,
reflect.
they would. I
You're
think
lying to yourself.
they would much rather put up with Jerry and stuff because at least Jerry can be loyal for, and
Right,
Jerry's never been known to be loyal to the wrong people. So at least
right.
Jerry can be loyal. But sometimes I do feel like he does want to be the center of attention. That's probably why he ran Jimmy Johnson off back in the day.
Hello.
I feel like he paying for them sins though. I feel like he even paying for them sins for the last 30 seasons.
You
Oh, man.
the real truth behind all of this, Jerry do want to be credited for every success the Cowboys have.
He's a
It's
stubborn
just
old bull.
it's just because when Jimmy Johnson got there, first season, 1-15. Horrible. Horrible as an organization, right? But before then,
That should be illegal.
but
That should not happen.
but it's then, but he made the best fucking trade. Like you
Ooh.
trading all them players, but you get picks in return.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
like we really built a Super Bowl team through the draft, which but this is before free agency, by the way.
Hmm.
So you really build it through the draft. This is why Herschel Walker always, even that, well, now he's a piece of shit because I think that CTE is really getting to him.
Yeah, that CT done got to him.
But like Herschel Walker should always get like some type of check from Jerry Jones. Because if it wasn't for that trade, we wouldn't be getting them 3 Super Bowls.
Mm.
But two of them Super Bowls, you know who get credit for them mostly? Jimmy Johnson. Because Jimmy
Hmm.
Johnson made them trades happen. Everything's going to go through Jimmy. The third Super Bowl, I know everybody's saying, well, Barry Switzer was the coach. That's Jimmy Johnson's team, actually.
Basically.
Barry Switzer just came there and just rode the coattails of Jimmy Johnson's team. When he got fired, it wasn't because, oh, he wasn't a bad coach. No, it was just Jerry don't like a coach that's bigger than him. That's why in the previous episodes, I said Dion should never go to Dallas because you're never gonna if the ego that Jerry has, he want to be that guy that feels like I did this because
His
it was
biggest
me.
problem is that in order to be successful, you need to have a great successor. And it's just
Hmm.
never going to happen because he's never going to allow another good successor. And the
He
only time
really
that will
isn't.
happen is, I mean, he has to be 6 feet under. I'm so sorry for saying that. But I mean, at this
You're not
given
the only
point,
one who feel
You
like
know, I was
this.
gonna say that too. You know,
You're not the only one who
I
feel
don't
like
wish that on
this.
nobody, but
neither do I.
Unfortunately.
But it's like that literal cliche term of over my dead body. That's the embodiment of Jerry Jones with the Cowboys franchise. Literally over his dead
No,
body.
it's true because when people legit ask me, and I always say, I don't wish death upon nobody, but
No. I'm not
mm-mm.
wishing upon that. No,
no,
not
but
even.
no, I
I'm
don't
just
wish
No.
it on
saying, like,
nobody. But I
nothing's really gonna
know,
change unless
yeah,
he's over his dead body or
I
he's so far gone that, I mean, none of that's even relevant to him anymore.
low key, I even told this to people that's Jet fans. Unfortunately, I really believe Joe Namath definitely signed that deal with the devil for y'all to not be good
I
after
can see
him
that. I
winning that
definitely
Super
can see
Bowl.
that. You know.
Because ain't no way you telling me in all the years y'all supposed to be good, y'all don't be good. Or when y'all was good, y'all don't make no playoff runs. Like,
And I
this is
remember watching
crazy.
that documentary on the New York Sack Exchange. I'm like, they have this ferocious D line, but they didn't have nothing else to build around them. And I'm like, y'all really could y'all when y'all have lightning, y'all gotta strike, man. The hell, Jets.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. But like in all seriousness, man, I think the Cowboys, and this is why I think like Jerry go get Brian Schottenheimer, which he
That's a
Oh
did,
really
yes, man, that's what
high
it is.
possibility. That's
and
actually
like
huge.
all I know is, man, I know I wrote something down. earlier that I should have posted on my IG. You know, we're a tank for Archie, baby. Tank for Archie. We're on 3-14, and we're gonna
Hold
tank
on,
for
hold on, hold
Archie.
on, hold on. I got a question for you though. Do you think the Mannings are gonna allow Archie Manning to go to Dallas? Because you remember back in the
Hell
day,
yeah.
the
Hell yeah.
Mannings stopped. They stopped Eli from going to San Diego. So do you
Big
think
dip.
they might
No,
step in
no,
though?
no, no, because the market, you gotta think about it. If you look at
I know
that, the
it's the
big
market, but do
market,
they want to deal with Jerry?
No. The answer is no. The same reason why Dion doesn't want to deal with Jerry. He's gonna entertain it.
let
He's
me
gonna
be
make a stink.
delusional for a minute. Let me be
I'm
delusional
sorry,
and
man.
take.
We gotta be realist over here, man.
See, this year, I was like a little delusional thinking maybe we could go to the playoffs. But then when Dak went down, oh, we taking. We taking for Shador. And then I'm like, okay, we ain't gonna get Shador, but it's cool. But next year, oh, give me fucking Archie if he decide to go to the
No.
draft.
I
That's
don't think
all.
the Manning family will allow that to happen, man. I don't care how
Man,
much
y'all
Jerry
go,
throw at them, man.
y'all
I,
just
I
killing
can't
my
see it.
dream, man. I'm
I'm
only doing
sorry,
this
man.
because I want to be ahead of everybody right now to let y'all know Cowboys is taking for Archie Manning. That story and headline is gonna go out in the
If
next
that's
couple
the case, what y'all
months.
gonna do with Dak's contract?
Oh, get him the fuck out of here, man. He
Okay, after all that money? Yeah.
so
Yeah,
this is
good
how I
luck finding
feel.
a team to take on that contract, though.
Yeah. I'm like,
This is
fat chance.
I,
Archie and Shador, nah. Like they'll be lucky if they get Ashton Jendy. Okay? But
That's who I think. That's who I thought they were gonna get at
that if you
first.
want to be delusional and have like actual a possibility of something going on, that's it. Archie Shador, absolutely not. I can't even believe you said that, Chris. You should be ashamed of yourself.
man, look.
No,
I
sir.
only said this because look, some guy give me some hope. Because the next couple of years, it's about to be horrible for me. I gotta deal with the jokes. I'm already mentally preparing
You should be
myself.
used to
Like
that by now.
You should be used to that, man. You were
I'm
telling me you
no,
kind of
I'm
used
used to
to it.
the postseason failures. Regular season, I'm like, come on. I'm not used to the
Yeah.
regular season failing the regular season.
I mean, Mike McCarthy did have y'all spoiled because y'all were winning 12 games up
Yeah,
to.
like y'all forget, like these past couple years, we always been over like 10 wins. When every year I'm always like, man, we'll go like 10-6, 10-7. You know, nothing too high. Now we getting Brian Schottenheimer. Man, we're going like 5-12, fucking
Yeah,
six and
definitely, yes, man,
11.
definitely.
Then we probably if we make the playoffs, it's gonna be like a wild card fucking appearance. And then they're
Right.
gonna crack the jokes. I'm like this. I might go have like a bottle of Jack Daniels beside me, realizing what is life.
Well, at least you're not gonna be on the montage of crying Cowboys fans.
Oh, if I was at a Cowboys game, I would 100% been on there.
Oh
I would
my God.
100% been on there, and I've been loving every moment, knowing that millions of people seeing me cry, seeing me disappointed. Like, why am I a fan of this team? Knowing they gonna laugh. I just want to be famous, Giselle. Let me be great. I just want to be famous.
Famous
Believe
for
it or
crying.
not,
Okay.
listen, as a Bucks fan, I get it because there was a point in time where the Bucks were ass, and I'll
Yeah.
still rock my gear in peace. I'm like, hey, we won, damn it. We get one win, I'm rocking my Bucks gear, you know.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah, that they were close. But Chris, I mean, do you need a reminder that there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to your Cowboys? I mean, there's no position coach from last year's staff that has a contract.
Ooh.
There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of uncertainty. It's really not looking that good. They have to start making moves like 3 weeks ago.
I,
I
I'm
don't know what's
just
up with these franchises and making moves that you should have made 3 weeks ago. Like Jacksonville, like, why the hell y'all just not firing your GM after the best coach on the market gets hired? Like, what the hell are y'all
Bizarre.
doing? You know this man was gonna be a hindrance to you getting a good head coach. Now you
right.
fire him after Ben Johnson goes to Chicago. Come
Yeah.
on now.
It's weird, it's bizarre, but honestly, I don't mind it because the Jags are in the same division as my Texans. So if they're gonna be shitty, they
It
can be shitty all they want.
actually, Vic, it was
Cool.
because when the Bucks OC decided I'm gonna just drop out this candidate interviews, that's
Yeah.
when he started realizing the GM is the problem. It's like, oh,
You should have been realized that was the problem.
Exactly.
And you know what? I feel like some ownerships, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, some ownerships are going to keep their teams from winning championships.
100%. Cowboys are Exhibit A.
indeed. She's not lying. She's not
I mean, the
lying.
Texans went through for a bit. I mean, remember when they upgraded Bill O'Brien and then Bill O'Brien did good and then he just completely just screwed us over so hard. So hard. I will never forgive him. Whatever success that he has, it's like good for you. It's like wish you well, wish you hell.
And then y'all
Yeah,
had
because
quarterback that was getting horny
y'all
too.
had the Chiefs beat, man. I still remember that game. I'm like, why the hell would you fake the damn punt? Just punt the damn ball. Your defense is playing good.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Glad y'all mentioned
That's what
that.
nightmares are made of.
Because we need to talk about this, right? I need Patrick Mahomes to stop fucking flopping. All right, like stop that.
At least he
shit.
took ownership for it today.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But
At least
I-
he took some accountability. About time.
Yeah.
About time. That's what I posted on my Instagram. I go, about time for some accountability. I mean, I give credit when credit's due, but do we really think he was going to be accountable for that unless so many people were just bashing him and just giving him so much shit? It's like, if you want to flop like that, you need to go to a different league.
That man pulled the James Harden. He took a page out of James Harden book. He was like this. Well, let me watch the Houston Rockets, how you were flopping, and let me use this against the Texans.
See, the NFL spoiled him. The NFL spoiled him because he started realizing, oh, I can get these calls, and 100%. I know the league is going to back me up because I'm the golden boy right now. So,
man, well said.
And he really shouldn't be.
He's the Brady right now. He's the Tom Brady. No, he's the Tom Brady of the league right now.
No, he's not. Because even though people despise Tom Brady, they could still respect him. Patrick Mahomes is no longer respectable amongst many people, amongst many fans, and amongst many franchises.
Is it because his wife and Jackson?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. You got to separate.
Because he flopped. I don't get it. Because Mahomes, even though he ain't have quite a good season, he's still balling.
Yeah, like
the thing is he knows how to perform under pressure, and he's been a part of these environments for many seasons, so it's nothing new for him. He's adapted seasons ago, and he continues to do so in spur of the moment times. I'll always give him credit. I mean, for crying out loud, that pass he made, he was halfway falling down, ended up in Travis Kelce's hands, and made a huge play. Not many quarterbacks can do that when falling down. Hell, not many quarterbacks can do that while standing straight up. So I'm always going to give Mahomes his credit, his cookies. But as of right now, I'm really sick and tired of this Brady and Mahomes comparison. It's fucking annoying, and it needs to stop, because at the end of the day, Mahomes is not Brady. And it makes enjoying Mahomes' game not enjoyable, because it's just always this compare and contrast. It just leaves a bad taste in so many people's mouths, including my own.
It's like that in sports. People love them comparisons because I know people get tired of the Jordan LeBron comparisons.
100%.
I hate that shit so much.
Yes,
the only thing that should be compared is that they're doing things for the league and for their franchise that others have not really been able to do. But again, these are completely separate people. These are completely different types of athletes. And you just have to enjoy them for what they do, who they are, and how they perform. At the end of the day, Michael Jordan will always be number one and be the GOAT because he was the first to do so.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And it's like, because these people have put these franchises on the map. Like, before Jordan got there, the Bulls ain't won shit. And the Chiefs, before Mahomes got there, it was a while before they even won. And the damn Patriots, they didn't win nothing before Brady got there. So yeah, you're definitely right. And yes, Jordan is 6-0 in the NBA Finals.
Indeed. But coming off the Chiefs game, of course, we already talked about Commanders beating the Lions' ass, Commanders in the NFC Championship. And then earlier that Sunday, Eagles, Rams. I'm totally convinced.
I told you Eagles are gonna win.
It's because Saquon. Just get the ball to Saquon. That's all you have to do.
Exactly. That's all you got to do. It's really not that hard.
Like without Saquon, the Eagles is not good. This is my take. The Eagles is really not good of a team without Saquon.
Mm,
Mm,
no, I'm not going to go
mm.
that far. They're still
Offensively,
a good team. They're not a great team without
offensively,
Saquon.
I mean,
offensively.
Saquon pushes them over the edge, but they still a good team. But Saquon
Yes,
I
takes
don't
them
know,
to that
man.
next
I feel
level.
like offensive.
exactly.
But and this
They,
is the same Philly team that was in the Super Bowl a few years
yep,
ago. So
yep,
yeah,
I
yep.
just don't want
Thank
to see.
you.
I just don't want to see Philly go far. I'd rather see the Commanders go far than Philly.
I'm happy with either of those two teams going far. But here's my thing, Chris. It was supposed to be Battle of the Birds, okay? Both the Ravens and the Eagles made this a similar move to take their team to the next level. The Eagles got Saquon and the Ravens got Derrick Henry. The difference is the Eagles finished the job and they're continuing to go forward in the playoffs. That was supposed to be the Ravens. I'm happy the Bills are there, okay? Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. But at the end of the day, the Ravens were not they really weren't supposed to lose. I mean, I don't really understand how they lost knowing that they have Derrick Henry. And at this point, the
you
whole
know what?
Lamar Jackson 3-time MVP, it's tired, it's old. It don't mean goddamn shit to me because you continuously keep choking in the playoffs like my guy, James Harden. So you got to
Listen,
get a grip.
you
listen. To
Get
know,
answer
it
your
and
question, I
acclimate.
really feel like the Ravens. The reason why they keep choking in the playoffs is because your offensive coordinator gets away from what they do the best. Like running the football is what you do the best. Run the pound the rock, run the ball down the throat. Don't get away from what you're doing. You get to the playoffs, you want to get all cute, and now you turn the ball over, and now Mark Andrews makes some drops. And I respect him for taking accountability, and I
Yeah.
respect the Ravens for taking accountability. But Mr. Offensive Coordinator, um, look, you won the national championship at Georgia. Don't
Mhm.
get away from what you do the best, and that's the problem. And also, the Ravens, you can't be losing pointless regular season games. I mean, you lost to the
Yep.
damn Raiders, because sometimes those regular season losses do come back. Because
and the
if you had
Browns,
Yes.
home
and the
field advantage,
Browns.
you would not have to deal with the damn Bills. Then you'll be hosting the AFC Championship game again.
Yep, I agree with you because the Texans did the same thing, and even CJ Stroud talked about it. We lost to the Jets earlier in the season, and I mean, I'm so sorry, not sorry. That just should have never happened.
Yeah, I remember watching that game and I was mad because I had CJ Stroud, my fantasy team. I'm like, okay, get the hell on. And after I got rid of him, I actually won the fantasy football championship.
That's
Yeah, I had to
crazy.
move him down and move Joe Burrow as my starting QB because CJ just was not really doing it for me for those first couple weeks.
So, on our sports TikTok page, for some reason that night, something told me, let me put Lamar Jackson stats up with Dak Prescott. Because Lamar is 3-5,
Okay,
Dak is 2-5 in the playoffs. And
okay.
I want to know, should Lamar get criticized about his postseason fuck ups just like Dak Prescott? And
At this point, yes.
I get it, I get it, guys. I get it. The Cowboys choke in the playoffs. I know this. But the conversation need to be had because when I look at statistics, actually, Dak Prescott has better stats than Lamar in the playoffs. To
Yeah,
be
but the
honest, by a
thing is,
little bit.
people love the team success though. So, and I see where you're coming from. I definitely see where
Yeah.
you're coming from. But they're looking at the whole team success.
Mhm.
And yes, Lamar should be held accountable because it's like you gotta get over the hump at some point. And, that's why we're looking at Josh Allen. Like, when are you gonna get over this hump? So Josh Allen has his attempt to get over the hump. So to
Yep.
them, it's like if not now, when? Because you don't want to spend the prime of your careers. And by the time your career is up, you don't want to be looking like, hey, I just couldn't get over the hump because there are a lot of guys that are ringless because of certain plays. They couldn't get past Brady, or
Yeah.
they couldn't get past MJ, or they couldn't get past LeBron. Like, you got to get past the hump in order to make it happen. And for people in the AFC, that hump is Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, it
I
is.
would I would even go even further back because you got to think about it. Let's go back to the 80s when like if you wasn't the 49ers,
Mm-hmm.
like 49ers win the titles. That's why like as much as we love Dan Marino, he never went back to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
No, the Dolphins that he took that for granted, and the Dolphins organization they should have put more around Dan Marino because
They
now
should
he's
have.
remembered as this all-time great passer. down in Miami. He may be a legend, but he only went to the Super Bowl that one time. And it's like you can't. So that's why I get mad with certain teams that if you make it to the championship, you need to go ahead and make that shit happen because you never know when you're gonna get back. Because in baseball, that's why I look at my Tampa Bay Rays like, what the fuck? Because y'all, every team in Tampa done won except y'all. So, but shifting back to football, it's like you got to get past Mahomes, or you're gonna be like Brady.
I
Not Brady,
mean,
but
Sunday is going to be a great weekend, especially Sunday. Starting off 3 o'clock, Eagles Commanders. I would love to see an upset, like storybook wise. Any of these teams can really go to the Super Bowl and win it all
100%.
because it's so many storybooks you can have. If the Commanders win the Super Bowl, that for 1 year wonder is like amazing. Like, wow, your rookie season might be the greatest rookie season ever.
For sure.
Eagles,
it already kind of is there at this point in time.
The Eagles is like a big fuck you for Saquon, big fuck you to the Giants.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
it's only funny, like, they let him go and try to paint him as the villain on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, with his sorry
I saw that.
ass.
I'm like, y'all need to be the villain paying Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is not your franchise quarterback. You know this, but you got this franchise star right here. And of course, she goes to your arch rival.
They said they ain't paying that guy $40 million a year to just hand the ball off. That's what they said on the show. But
yeah, that was awful.
That was crazy. And his crazy thing is, Saquon and Dave Jones is like fucking friends. That's the funny thing about it. So that's fucked up. Like the business side of things kind of looked like, damn, it looked like Dave Jones was selfish. But at the time, it was kind of like that GM was kind of on some, I want to pay our quarterback more than a running back that we could get every other year, but not knowing Saquon's like having a career year.
Yeah.
Saquon
is extremely talented.
Yes, he is very talented. I don't know why
they just let him go.
I don't know why the Giants haven't fired their GM yet, because the Titans did that shit. Because I remember the Titans fired Robinson because he traded their best receiver to Philly, and then the receiver they got is garbage.
I remember watching that draft.
They traded AJ Brown to Philly
for Treylon Burks. Was disgusting. You really traded AJ Brown and then drafted a receiver.
Wild.
Like they always say it's always cheaper to keep them,
See, it's crazy, man. But back to this game. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. I would love to see a Commanders upset and keep this Cinderella story going, but I can understand if the Eagles win.
Okay, so looking back to the regular season, the Eagles and Commanders, when they first met in November, Eagles won. The score was 26-18. They meet again in December, but the Commanders win 36-33. But a big component of that was Jalen Hurts left the game due to concussion protocol. So would you consider that Commanders win a true win against the Eagles, even though Jalen Hurts wasn't playing QB the entirety of the game?
I will still consider it a win because Philly does have a good defense. Normally, just on down that day, it's up to their defense to make some stops, because you're looking at stats. Philly did have like the number one defense and stuff. So for that game, they didn't have it. You beat the number one defense, then yeah, that's still a win regardless of Jalen Hurts' health. And speaking of Jalen Hurts' health, that is going to play a big factor in this game, because I don't know if y'all saw that game, but Jalen Hurts took a beating. I'm like, because the Rams got after it, and it's like, so his health is really going to factor in the game. If Jalen Hurts can be himself, he's moving and running the ball and making plays, Philly's going to win. But if Jalen Hurts is not 100% himself, then I think Washington is going to complete the Cinderella story.
The second time they met, I must say that was a solid win for Jay Daniels, because Philly had multiple chances to close out the game. When you go down to it, like second half, going to the second half, he was up 24-14. Kicking field goal, all right, 27-14. They didn't really do much, and then they scored, they touchdown. So then it was like, okay, they scored, all right, 21-27. Then they score again on that long bomb. Now it's like 28-27.
Mm-hmm.
Then you kick a field goal. Then you got an interception that could have sealed the game in the fourth quarter. Under 4 minutes left, you could have sealed the game. But then you decide, let me kick the field goal. Gave enough time, not knowing you should have remembered what happened in the Bears game already. And then I think, didn't they play the Falcons the week before?
No, I think they played the Falcons week 2.
Okay.
Yeah, they played them early.
No, I'm talking about the Commanders.
I think that was in that same situation, Atlanta came back and won.
Exactly.
No, I'm talking about the Commanders. Didn't the Commanders play the Falcons before or after?
No, it was after. It was before. It was before the Philly game.
Okay. Because, like, you see him coming back. If they're a second half team, why would you even give him enough time? And then you gave that man enough time. And all of a sudden, wow, the guy who scored, the guy you would least think would score, fucking Crowder. Wasn't Terry, wasn't Ertz, it wasn't Robinson Jr. or Eckler. Fucking Crowder. And then y'all get the ball back, and then it's like, oh, it was just a fumble now with the return. So it's like y'all had chances to close that game, but they choked. Now, was it like Kenny Pickett? Kenny Pickett tried his best to manage the game. It wasn't like, it was all on Kenny Pickett. I ain't gonna blame on Kenny Pickett too much because that defense was still a solid defense. Just Jay Daniels just started going crazy more in the fourth quarter. So I think going into this game, it's all about how Jalen Hurts is he going to play? Is he going
if he's
to
healthy,
scramble? If he's healthy, he's play. That plays a factor. The one thing that is a big scary factor that is everybody's worst nightmare, Saquon get hurt in the game.
Yeah.
Lord forbid that happen. I feel like Jalen Hurts need to really throw the ball. I think this is a defense where you can really throw the ball against because this is a defense that gave up 540 something yards against the Lions last week. So like this is really, I think this game possibly is going to be the high scoring game this week, in my opinion. I think this is going to be high scoring.
In my opinion.
I can see that too.
Because this is like you going offenses is like we can only see where it could lead to. Could it lead to, a high scoring game? Could it see low scoring game? I mean, depending on the temperature outside too. Hopefully it's not no snow. If it's a clear day, great. We might see a lot throwing in the air.
It's probably gonna be a snow game.
Yeah, knowing that DMV area because, let me see how it look in Philadelphia, but that environment, man, I'm gonna be honest. If it's one stadium I would never want to go to as a like Cowboys fan, would be Philly.
Hell, even as a Bucks fan, I wouldn't want to go to Philly because I've had people tell me, "Hey, I remember walking around in a Philadelphia airport. There was somebody that saw me say, "Hey, you better put away that Bucks gear." I'm like, "Let it go, Philadelphia, damn."
So
yeah, I mean, it's like it's never that serious to like harass people in just random public settings like an airport. 100% agree with that.
So it's going to be in like the 43 degrees in the day, 24 degrees at night. So.
And that game is at what, 3, right?
Yeah, so like we probably see like a 30-something degree weather game. Cold, but still manageable. Now we're gonna go to Giselle's favorite team. Not her favorite team, her least favorite team. I had to get my jokes in for that.
Like which one's my least favorite team?
Come on, the Chiefs. That man called Patty Mahomes.
Nah, man. They're still, even though they've been shitting on my Texans here and there, that doesn't make them my least favorite team, believe it or not.
And that's supposed to be a clear game too. See, I love it when it's just gonna be a clear weekend. You know,
Ooh,
I love
no
it, man.
snow. It's gonna be cold as hell, but hey,
Yeah.
I'll take the with no snow and stuff.
But what's your picks from the Eagles and Commanders games?
I'm gonna go Eagles. I think Commanders are gonna put up a really great fight. It's gonna be really exciting to watch as a spectator, as a fan. But at the end of the day, the Eagles have just far more talent all across the board on both offense and defense, and I think that they're gonna win.
I feel like Philadelphia is going to redeem themselves because they remember the last time they played and they lost. So
Mhm.
Philadelphia is going to redeem themselves and they are going to book their trip to New Orleans.
I know right now, I love the Cinderella story of the Commanders. I'm gonna have to go out on a
Me
limb
too.
here. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but this is not gonna be like no easy game to win it. This is
No.
definitely gonna be
Mhm.
that last second field goal that probably gonna shock the world. And it's gonna be probably gonna be like a 34 to 35 game, or it's gonna probably be like a 38 to 41 game where it's like a OT. I think this game will go OT, field goal from the Commanders, or an overtime touchdown by the Commanders to go to the Super Bowl. That's my pick.
Ooh.
Okay, it's gonna go OT. It's not gonna be regular season. It's gonna be regulation. It's gonna be OT. Now, later that night, we have the Chiefs versus the Bills.
Mhm.
Man, can Josh Allen get over this hump in the postseason against Mahomes?
I hope so. I'm hoping that with his superpower of love and being engaged to his fiance, it brings in this new sense of just grit in him and he finally gets over it. That's all I can say.
Oh my
Oh, and
God.
also, before I continue, I think the final score for the Commanders and Eagles game is going to be 28 Commanders and 34 Eagles.
By the way, I'm gonna say 30. I'm gonna say 31-24 Eagles, and also for the Bills, if not now, win because you beat them in the regular season. You beat the
Hmm.
Chiefs in the regular season. Yeah, I know they went to your building and won. It was in your building you won, but you should have this confidence to know that you beat this team. And Kansas City has looked vulnerable at times during the season.
Yep.
Yeah, they might be 15-2, but there have been some games where they look like they could be beat. They definitely look like they could have been beaten. And hell, even going back to the game they took on my Bucks, I'm like, if the Bucks won the coin toss, we could have won the damn game. So it's like I really feel like the Chiefs can be beat. Don't let that 15-2 record fool you. So to Buffalo, if not now, when? You gotta take advantage of these moments because you don't know when these moments are gonna happen again because the
Exactly.
AFC is loaded. If you don't know
Oh, yeah.
already, because you got Lamar, you got Burrow. The AFC is loaded. So if not now, win Buffalo. So
100%. The only
I'm
thing
I'm
that's
go-
shaky is
yeah,
the Bills'
it's shaky.
defense.
It's
But at
shaky.
the end of the day, their offense is strong, and the offense is what wins games.
Yeah. But I gotta give it to their defense though. Their defense has been stepping up. But I think Buffalo finally gets over the hump.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm head. This is the hesitant pick. This is the uncertain pick. But I'm a lean towards Buffalo. This is gonna be the upset. Buffalo is gonna upset Kansas City, 20-17.
Ooh,
Mm.
that's a big upset.
Oh,
Look, here's the thing. They're calling the Chiefs underdogs again, like they did last season. And I mean, Chiefs won Super Bowl against the Niners. No one thought that was going to happen, despite them having an off regular season and them being supposed underdogs. In my opinion, As of right now, with their trajectory, Chiefs are really never underdogs. And if they are for the sake of stats and bets and whatever it may be, it I'm never gonna fall into that. I'm not gonna be like, yay, yeah, the Chiefs are underdogs. No, they're not.
They're
That
really
person
not
said it.
underdogs.
No, they're not.
They want you to believe they're underdogs. But they're not.
Exactly. They want you to think that so you can kind of let your guards down and then that's how they sneak attack and they're here. This is nothing new to them and they know how to handle this pressure, especially Patrick Mahomes, and that's what sets him apart. Compared to a lot of other quarterbacks, he just has that intellect. And when you have a very strong, confident, and smart quarterback, they always prevail and win games when it matters the most. And that's what Patrick Mahomes has done for seasons upon seasons upon seasons upon seasons.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
just to update y'all, full participant practice was Jalen Hurts was on that list as
Oh,
well. Jalen Hurts and Quinyon Mitchell as well. So
hmm
two big pieces, one on defense, one on offense. So
Mhm.
just so everybody knows what's happening.
hmm
Um, as far as the Chiefs and Bills game, it's just some about betting against Mahomes never go
Yeah,
well.
huh? You just don't want to do it.
It's like you really want to see the
Yep.
Bills get there, but then you don't want to see the Bills get there and lose. Cause it's like, damn, like you did
Right.
all that and you can't win the Super Bowl. Now you got to face another gauntlet next season again. So, in my honest opinion, man, I think we're gonna see. I think this will probably be part two. I
Hmm.
love. I think the storylines is leading up to. I think we are gonna get a Chiefs versus Eagles part two.
Damn.
Only
And that will feel
because
like, and I hate to go to wrestling, but if we got that Super Bowl, it will feel like Vince McMahon is running the NFL.
oh, don't start with the script line again. Come on, man. Not the
I
script, man.
mean, come on now.
Only because one of my good friends, shout out to my boy Mike. He did bring up a stat that did stick out to me. A
Let's hear
lot of
it.
people who goes back to the Super Bowl actually win, actually have a better chance of winning the second time around.
Mm.
So I was like,
Okay.
man, I don't know, man, but I think the Chiefs is going to win against the Bills, and it's going to be by a field goal. I think Harrison
Oh,
Butler is going to kick that nice little kick. We're going to see a fan shot of a Bills fan crying in tears. They're gonna rename Buffalo to Kansas City, New York. That's what they're gonna do, and it's gonna be like, man, Josh Allen couldn't do it. So like, I guess the reason why we look at Burrow different because it's like
because he beat
he
Mahomes.
beat Mahomes.
But Burrow did it. Burrow went into
so
Arrowhead and won.
so when
That's why I
people,
say Burrow's better than Allen and Jackson, and a lot of
that's
people
why
don't
I'm
like to
like,
have that conversation. But
ah man, like
Now give Burrow a good defense. We're gonna see because they just hired a defense coordinator
man,
from
let
Notre
me
Dame.
tell
So,
you,
mhm.
if Joe Burrow was in this playoffs.
Jeez,
This shit
man.
would have went nuts. I'm gonna be honest. I might have to go on the limb here. Think about if Joe Burrow was in the playoffs, his first matchup, Josh Allen
ooh,
would have
that
been that first matchup. His second matchup, Mahomes in the
was
division round.
oh
Yep.
right, Mahomes and ooh,
Because then we will see the Texans
Hmm.
go from go against the Chiefs. Now they have to go to Baltimore,
Baltimore.
Yep.
and
And
then
then
we
it
would
would have
have
been
seen.
Burrow and Lamar for the AFC title. That would have been crazy.
Oh, I know.
My God, that would have been the gauntlet I would love to see.
Get your shit together, Cincinnati. Come on, man.
Robbed us of so much shit we could have witnessed. I would have been like this. I would be like, fuck the Eagles, fuck every team in the
Yeah,
NFC.
I was like, who cares about the NFC, man? Bye.
Man, whoever winning out the AFC is winning the Super Bowl, man.
Yep.
That was a real
Real.
gauntlet, man. But that, oh man, I was just sitting here just thinking about it like now, like, damn, man, fucking Burrow could have been in the playoffs. We could have seen some real great football, man.
I
Damn.
agree.
But it's all right, man.
Can't
Hopefully,
cry over spilt milk.
we can't, man. But hopefully, you know, we see some great games uh overall this weekend. Hopefully we can come back Monday and have like a great reaction to who's in the Super Bowl. Hopefully, I win some sports bets, hopefully. Hopefully, because my boy won $11,000 on the Lions and Commanders game. So shout out to my boy Complex. Uh, yeah, man, it's crazy. But before we end the episode, man, I want to go ahead and quickly react to Mel Kiper's first layout of his mock draft. If he has of the top 10 selections as follow. Number one, the Titans get Cam Ward. Number two, the Cleveland Browns get Travis Hunter. Number three, the New York Giants get Shador. The Patriots get Abdul Carr from Penn State. Jacksonville get Mason Graham, D tackle from Michigan. Let's see. The Raiders get McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona. New York Jets get Micah Williams, edge from Georgia. Jalon Walker, his teammate at Georgia, going to the Panthers at 8. Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, going to the Saints. And the Bears get Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU.
I hope number 2 doesn't happen for the sake of Travis Hunter going to the Browns, because everyone knows if you go to the Browns, it's where your dreams and ambitions just die for a bit.
Yeah, I think Coach Prime is going to step in there and make sure that's not going to happen because Coach
pull
Prime is taking Travis Hunter in as his son. So I think Coach Prime is going to step in and make sure that doesn't happen.
I would hope so. I can see Shador going to the Giants, though. I mean, they do have to fulfill a quarterback position. And I mean, I don't think that's terrible. I think it is possible. But I honestly, this is just me. I don't really do the whole NFL mock drafts until it's like a couple days before, and then you kind of get to see how everything starts to shape. I think it's still too early to have these predictions.
It really is because you got to go through free agency. You got to see who resigns where and stuff, who fills out their roster. So I definitely agree, but I definitely feel like Shooter might wind up with either the Giants or the Raiders, though.
Yeah, man. I mean, the East-West Shrine game happening next Thursday. So that's going to be the first look for the Titans, especially because one of their coaches is coaching on the West team and Shador's on the West team. So
yeah,
maybe
honestly,
he'll look at Shador like maybe that could be
if
the
I were
guy.
the Titans, I done seen a couple Titans games. They are trash everywhere. If I were them, I would try to trade that number 1 pick, get some assets, and start building out a roster because your team is just trash everywhere. If I were the Titans, I would definitely look to trade that number 1 pick and start stockpiling some pieces because unless they're sold on Cam Ward being that franchise quarterback.
Yep. I agree. But I don't care because, they keep trying to take the Love You Blue Houston colors, so that's their own bad karma.
Man, they need to give that back to Houston, man. That's just disrespect. They need to go ahead and give them Love You Blues back to Houston, man.
If they do that again next season, I'm like, what are y'all doing? You guys lose.
Y'all are so petty. That was so petty. I saw that. I'm like, y'all need to just go ahead and do a favor to the city of Houston and give the Love You Blues back to Houston. Which is why I respect the Thunder because they haven't broke out the Supersonics era yet. So
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
And the Thunder already said Seattle gets the franchise. They will just give them back that information from the Thunder.
Because that's what's right.
That's what the Pelicans did with like the Hornets.
When they changed to the Hornets, they gave all that back to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, I ain't gonna lie. them AFL jerseys is tough though, man.
Yeah, love you blue in Houston, man. That would be, man. Houston need that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Chef's Kiss. They tried to threaten my University of Houston Cougs. I was like, we ain't gonna listen
And
to
the
you.
Houston Cougs said, "F y'all, we rocking them."
Yeah, we're like, we'll pay the fines. We ain't scared of y'all. I mean,
And they
speaking
even got
of,
Yes.
I mean, my men's basketball Cougs, they're gonna be breaking out the Love You Blue jerseys on
yeah.
February 1st, so I'm so excited. I'm like, yay, finally.
I'm just not a fan of Houston sports.
This is
Apparently,
such a hater, bro.
Wait, what is what?
I just no, because actually I'm gonna tell you why I don't
They're
like,
so nice. He's like, why?
because Houston Cougars, did y'all fail in the NCAA tournament? 'Cause I feel like I had y'all going far one
Mhm.
year and then y'all lost.
Okay, when we were in the Final Four and we went against Baylor, Baylor was the better team and they deserved to go and win the championship, and they did. The next time we were in the Elite Eight, we lost. I knew that was going
That's
to
what it
happen.
was.
Marcus Sasser, who now plays for the Detroit Pistons, was dealing with the off and on again groin issue, and that inevitably caused us to lose the game because he wasn't all the way there, and he was like our main like point driver. And then this past season, which was Jamal Shedd's last season here with Houston, and now he's over in Toronto with the Raptors. He also dealt with an injury as well, and so we did not make it to the Elite Eight, which I thought we were going to at least be in the Elite Eight bracket, but that did not occur due to Jamal Shedd being injured as well. So the past 2 seasons, we've come very close, and we've had to deal with terrible injuries, not just even from like our main superstars, but from other accessory players as well. And then before that, again, when we were in the Final Four, that was phenomenal feats, but we just were not all the way there and polished to go against a superstar team like Baylor. But now we ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then before our time, I remember Houston for five
Oh,
slammer jammer. Like, how the hell they did not win the title? They had stacked
Jimmy V,
lineups,
baby.
and
Jimmy V.
how
That
the hell
that
did
man, that man Jimmy V
I'm
is the
like,
reason.
God damn. And against Jimmy V, that was the best chance because Georgetown
yep,
just beat the shit out of him. I'm like, God damn, Georgetown.
Jimmy V,
agreed.
man. That's that man. That man Jimmy V is something bad. Is a bad man.
Yeah, Jimmy V. Clutch
But enough
City.
enough about me being a hater. Any last words y'all want to share for the people at home?
Enjoy some divisional playoff football.
Hey, y'all can do y'all plugs for y'all channels too. We ain't selfish. Y'all can send y'all plugs in.
Hey, listen, let's see, y'all check out Liquor Talk Podcast everywhere. And also Liquor Talk Podcast Instagram. We're gonna be going live talking a little sports as well. So, and also I'd love to come back. If you want to have me back, you just let me know when. I'd love to come back.
Woohoo. And then you can find my ad at Sports with Strong, both on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And my personal account is at Giselle Strong. So we'll be posting videos on the daily, may or may not be going live. I'm actually going live tonight with our baddies on the boards.
I was about to ask you
NBA
about
video.
that. I was saying this. I need to see that now. I was
And
like,
that's
oh,
just strictly NBA talk. So if you just want to hear strictly hoops, that's the show to go to. That's me and my two homies, Spencer and James, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun. So we go live every Thursday night, and of course, the video is posted right afterwards.
all right, I'm gonna
Mhm.
join. I'm gonna join the live so I can troll in the comments.
You better.
That's what I'm
That's
gonna do.
at Athletically Declined YouTube. We go live on the Athletically Declined.
Athletically declined. That is a funny ass name. I need to know the origin of that name.
I mean, if you think about it, that's a lot of people that
That's me.
talk
That's
sports.
me.
Because
Look,
that's me as well.
I couldn't win D1 if I wasn't a Cowboys fan.
Hey, I could have definitely went D1 as well too, but
I couldn't win D1, man. My shirts fit correctly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. Yo, man, the people that say I could have went D1 and the guy had like a reason why they didn't go D1. Oh my God. No, let me stop. Let me stop before we get too carried away, man. Cause those be the funniest reasons, man. I could have went D1 for this. But thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Sports Podcast. You know, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to end this episode on a high note. I'm Chris Ortega. Got Giselle Strong, Victor here. Y'all know all the information they told y'all about. Y'all go follow them. And thank you for tuning in to the Sport Aces podcast. See you next week.